Your Miss BBC.
Gotta be good now.
Okay, say your name as well.
Okay, so I'm Katie and
I'm Alison.
I'm Gino.
And Caroline, who's holding the camera. And we've been coming with it. We've got a couple of different ideas. So firstly, we were talking about sort of maybe an iPhone of a mobile app of some kind, but then maybe not, because smartphones isn't necessarily something that homeless people will have access to. So maybe like a text service. So for those who do have a mobile but not necessarily a smartphone, that they can text and get information, get kind of support and help through that. Maybe an automated text service in place of like a mobile app. The second idea we had was that sort of around the idea of people who are homeless contributing to kind of video projects, maybe not necessarily about being homeless as was mentioned before, but kind of just a video. And I think that would be something that could work, because in social media often things that get sent around to lots of people are just interesting or funny videos that people want to watch. And if you can watch that video and then at the end of the video it says this video was made or written by a homeless person, here's some information about homeless charities, people are going to send it round to each other because they want to watch the video, and it's not necessarily this sort of guilt thing where you watch a video about a homeless person and it's not necessarily something people want to see. But as you mentioned, there are videos and stories about people on the Crisis website, but I'd no idea. Like, unless I'd gone and looked for them, I wouldn't know about that. So if there's a video that's just sort of being pinged around the social networks because it's entertaining and people like watching it, or it's a well-made creative thing, and not even just videos, you could have articles or short stories or blog posts that people have written, but at the bottom there's this sort of mention of the fact that the person who creatively made this thing is homeless.
Yeah, or you might still attach it to a person, so it might be, this video was made by Mike, da da da. Yeah. There might be a little profile of Mike. Yeah. So it's important to humanise.
Yeah,
people,
and it completely changes your perception of what a homeless person is, because people don't know what it's like. Can see that this person is sort of a person with creative ideas and also is a homeless person, and this is something that we have to sort of help them with. The third idea that we had was, if the big issue as a print medium, sales are declining because of the fact that print media is sort of on the downturn, I guess, rather than them selling the big issue, or alongside selling the actual physical big issue, the vendor could have some kind of QR code or some kind of smartphone type thing that people could go and pay them for the big issue, but then just scan the code, and then they can take that and read the big issue on their phone when they get home. And there's some kind of sort of online content, maybe a paywall type thing, but if the big issue articles are all online, there could be extra content for online readers, that because you can put more on the website than you could in a newspaper or a magazine. Then the vendor is still having an interaction with someone, they're still working, they're still sort of out talking to people and making people aware of themselves, but also people are more likely to purchase it because they can then read it at their leisure at home on their phone.
Very good. And this group, who's going to feedback? You might want to move. Are you going to feedback?
Yeah, I'm going to feedback.
Okay.
Who's doing the report? You're reporting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Emma.
I'm Andrew.
And we were looking at, I know in Glasgow they've got a Glasgow Homeless Network for people who are homeless to access like online resources about jobs, employment, but also crucially where there's places in the city to stay, which can change on a daily basis. It's a real problem for homeless people who are very transient to get to a phone or travel halfway across the city to be told, sorry, there's no beds. So this would be, Glasgow Homeless Network would update daily maybe the bed status in the city. And we looked at how we could use Facebook as, because when people do well in addictions, they tend to access social media, especially young drug users. They're quite literate with their Facebook, their phones. It tends to be when people get in crisis, they run out of money, they lose phones, and that can cause problems because we can get in touch with them to access resources. So if there was maybe free PC use in places like crisis centres, even the social work offices that they maybe go and see their care manager, if they could then go on and check things on Facebook. There may be a problem with confidentiality, how much information could be shared on that if it was open, but that would be up to the service user to agree on what kind of information can be shared. It could just be, as you're saying, just a text message or a message on Facebook saying please get in contact, because in my experience we were talking about how homeless people getting in touch with the right people when they're in crisis is a real problem. So I think there is a need for social media. We were talking about, what else were we talking about? The sort of incentives would be on a basic level, shelter, food safety, but I think what you were saying about increasing the awareness of the problem of homelessness is really important. The big issue is very much a big community, and I think when it's getting online, in my experience, people just buy it and they're not using it in the internet. There is a fear that people who are homeless don't access the internet. In my experience, they do. So that's it.
Sorry, we started late, so it's having a bit of a knock-on effect. Thank you so much for all your ideas and time. We'll feed the ideas back to Big Issue. I've taken down your names so I could get back in touch with you to see kind of what happens. And if anyone's interested in volunteering a bit of time to make some of the ideas happen in the future, that might be a possibility. Thanks a lot. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.